Hello, welcome to your homework help video for solving percent problems. We're going to be doing a few of these together, so go ahead and circle the ones that I have circled and we'll take a look at some of these together. And number 10, if you want a challenge you can do number 10, but I'm just going to say don't worry about it. If you get all of the other ones, then you're totally fine. But if you do want a challenge, I would try it out. Okay, so starting off, the very first thing that I want to review on this video is the formula for solving percents. The formula is part over whole is equal to percent over 100. This is the formula. Okay, so when we have problems that we need to find a percentage or something like that, find a part of a whole, this is the formula that we're going to use. So the first one says, find the percent, the first three questions says, find the percent of a number, explain your method. You don't really need to explain as long as you are writing out how, like showing your work basically. So the first one, we've got 25% of 80. So I know that percents are always over 100. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 25 over 100. And that's going to make it equal to, and then it says of 80. So this part can be the most tricky because we need to decide which is the part and which is the whole. If we know part of 80 is 25%, but we know that 80 is the total amount, then 80 is going to be on the bottom because that's the whole amount, and we're trying to find the percentage of 80. And so that's why we're going to put it on the bottom. Okay, next up we're going to go ahead and do 25 times 80. So a trick that we can do is just do 25 times 8 and leave the 0 out for right now. So we have 8 times 5 is 40, carry the 4, 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. And then I'm going to put that 0 back on to our answer. So 25 times 80 is 2,000, and then we have to divide by 100. Now, a trick that I taught in class was that when we divide by 100, we have this imaginary decimal on the end of whole numbers. When we divide by 100, all we have to do is move that decimal back to the left twice, and then that's our answer. So when we move it back twice to the left, that means that you're dividing by 100. Versus when you move it to the right twice, that means you're multiplying by 100. Okay. So our answer for number 1 is 20. So that means 25% of 80 is 20. Okay, so number 2, I'll let you do on your own, but we're going to do number 3 together. We've got 91% of 60. So again, we're going to come back to this formula that we have. I'm going to put my percent over 100, so I know that it's going to be 91 over 100, and that's going to be equal to, and it says of 60. 60 is the total amount, or the whole, so we need to know what the percentage is of the 60. So that's going to be on the bottom, question mark on the top. Okay, now we have to do 91 times 60. Again, I'm going to ignore this 0 for right now, and I'm just going to do 91 times 6. It's a lot easier for me. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. And then I'm going to add that 0 back onto the answer. Okay, now this can look a little tricky. I'm sorry, the glare is like super bad on my, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, I apologize. Now, we can still do the trick of moving the decimal, okay? All we have to do is put our imaginary decimal, and if we have to divide by 100, we're going to move the decimal over to the left. So, our answer is 54.6. Okay? All right. Next up, we're going to do one that looks a little bit different. Okay, I turned the brightness down. Hopefully that helps a little bit with the glare. So the next one we've got, so we still have our part over whole is equal to percent over 100, but it's going to look a tiny bit different. So we've got our percent over 100 still, so we're going to do 65 over 100 is equal to, and then it says of what number is 39. So up here, when we found out that 91% of 60 is 54.6. So in this case, we don't know the bottom number. We need to figure out what the whole is when we know that 39 is on the top. So we're going to do the same way. When we solve a proportion, we're going to do multiply and then divide. So we're going to do 39 times 100, which is just 3,900, and we're going to divide that by 65. Okay, so we have to figure out how many times 65 can go into 390. I'm thinking it'll go about probably 8 times, maybe. So I'm going to come over here and do that out. So 65 times 8. 8's going to be too big. Let's try 6. 65 times 6, we've got 30, carry the 3, 6 times 6 is 36, plus 3 is 39. Okay, that ended up working out really good. So, we've got 6 up here, and then we have 1 0 left over, so 60 would be our missing number there. Okay, so it's just a matter of setting up the proportion and then solving out the problem. Okay, the next one we've got 4 out of 5 visitors at an amusement park buy day passes. What percent of the visitors buy day passes? So we're going to write our fraction. So we have 4 out of 5 visitors. So 4 out of 5. And we need the percent this time. So when we have a fraction, there's a couple of different ways you can solve for a percent. But we can set it up like this, and we can do our formula. So if we don't know our percentage, but we know that percents are always out of 100, then that's how we can solve that way. Or you could always do the top number divided by the bottom number to get your percentage that way. So either way, you can do it. So let's do 4 times 100, that's 400, and divide by 5, that's 80. So that means that 80% of the people that bought passes, they bought day passes. Okay, the next one that we're doing says the sale price of a pair of pants is 65% off. This is supposed to say off the regular price of $25. How much do you save by buying the pants on sale? So first we have to figure out what 65% of 25 is. So we're going to set it up using our formula, right? Our part over whole is equal to percent over 100. So percents are always over 100, so I'm going to put 65 over 100 is equal to, and then it says the regular price is $25. So if we know the regular price, that's going to be our whole. We're trying to figure out what 65% off is. So we're going to do 65 times 25. Let's set it up. 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2, 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. We're going to drop a 0. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1, 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Now we're going to add 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 0 is 2, 3 plus 3 is 6, and then we've got the 1 left over. Okay, so there is our, sorry, it's doing it again. Okay, make it a little darker. Okay, so now we have, so that's multiplying these two together, right? So now we have to divide by 100. So we've got 1, 2. So that means that it's $16.25 off of 25. So that means we actually have to take $25 and subtract $16.25. Okay? Because we're trying to figure out how much you save So we're going to subtract that to see how much money we saved off of it. Okay, so we can't do 0 minus 5, can't borrow, so we have to borrow from over here. And then we're going to borrow from the 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 4 minus 6 we can't do, so we'll borrow. 14 minus 6 is 8. So that means that you actually save $8.75. Or I'm wondering if it's asking us how much we save, if this is how much we save. And this would be the price after. I actually think that that's right. Okay, so this would be the price after the sales. But it's asking us how much we save. So it's actually $16.25. You did not have to do that extra step. I'm just used to doing the extra step because usually it asks how much the item is after the sale. So that's kind of why I did the subtraction. But now you know how to do that. Okay, so there is the front side. We've got, we did lots. So let's look on the back and just see. I'm going to help you set the questions up, but I'm not going to solve any of them out. So it says evaluate the expression, write the answer in simplest form. You've got to do around the world on this one, and then you're going to do keep, change, flip, or you can do the diamond method, whichever one you want. Keep, change, flip, or diamond. I'm going to put that up there so you can see, but you've got to do around the world first, okay? Okay, the next one says Hazel has more math homework than she ever had before. She had 76 problems, and each one of, I think this 3, that's throwing me off, but I think that's a typo. Sorry. She had 76 problems, and each one took her 2.3 minutes to complete. How many minutes did she work on her math homework? So she's got 76 problems, and that took her that long. What you're going to do is take the 2.34, and we have to multiply it by 76. That's going to give you the total amount of minutes that she worked. Okay? Okay, the next part says, or the next question I should say, says, is the opposite of each expression a positive or negative integer? So the opposite of -2 is a positive. The opposite of the absolute value, okay, so let's do this. The absolute value of -1 is just 1, and then we have the negative on the outside. So this would really just be -1, and the opposite of -1 is positive. The opposite of +3 would be a -3, and then we have -5 plus 0, which is just -5, so the opposite of -5 would be a +5. I just did that one for you, so you're welcome. Okay, number 4, excuse me. Compare the statement using greater than, less than, or equal to. So remember, whenever you have the absolute value, you have to find the absolute value first, and then you can compare. So the absolute value is the distance from 0. I'm going to put that there so you can remember. Distance from 0. So you got to see what the distance from 0 is, both of those, and then you're going to compare. Okay, next one says a map has a scale of 1.5 inches equals 8 miles. On the map, 2 towns are 3 inches apart. What is the distance in miles between the 2 towns? So if we've got 1.5 inches equals 8 miles, and we know that there's 3 inches apart, these 2 towns are 3 inches, what we're going to do is just do, we're going to set up a proportion. So we've got 1.5 inches over 8 miles is equal to 3 inches over a certain amount of miles. So we're going to do 8 times 3, which is 24. Oh man, it's doing the thing again. Sorry guys, I think it might be this red paper that's throwing us off. So we're going to do 8 times 3 is 24, and then we're going to divide it by 1.5. So I'm going to move my decimal over, move it over this way. 15 can go into 240. my bad, we know that 15 can go into 24 one time. So we're going to just subtract. And we get 9 left over, bring down the 0. 15 can go into 96 times evenly. So that means that the distance in miles between the two towns, it would be 16. Okay, I wanted to help you with that one too. So, okay, the next one is find the missing value in the ratio table. Remember, you could either do what times this gives you 84, and then you do the same thing to this one, and then same thing here. Or you could do this times this divided by this times this, or this times this divided by that. So either way, you can find there's different ways that you can fill in the ratio table. The next one says factor out the GCF to create an equivalent expression, 49 and 84. So you got to find the biggest number that could go into both. I'll give you a hint, it's 7. So remember that when you're writing an expression for the GCF, you need it to look like this. You're going to have a number on the outside, and they're going to be parentheses, and then there's going to be a number here and a number here. So that hopefully that will kind of remind you on how to do that one. And then this one is our GEMDAS. So we're practicing GEMDAS with that one. So there you go. There's some hints on the back side, and that's your homework help video for solving percents. You've got this. This will be due probably towards the end of the week. I can't remember what exact day, but you got this.